members in the committee in the chamber have been notified about the various actions, and if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them, and if not, I'll yield the will and ask for your approval.
Are there any questions? Does any senator wish to speak for or against the, or any questions? There are no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Yield the will.
Does any senator wish to speak for or against the measure? The chair has none. The senator from the 15th? The question is on the adoption of the committee substitute. Is there any objection to the adoption of the committee substitute? Hearing none, the committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objections to agreeing to the report of the committee, which is favorable to the adoption of the resolution? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Is there any objection to the main question being ordered? The chair hears none, and the main question is ordered. The question is on the adoption of the resolution by substitute. All those in favor of the resolution will vote yea. Opposed, nay. The secretary will unlock the machine. Okay, good. The adoption of the resolution by substitute, the yeas are 51, the nays are 0. The resolution received the required constitutional majority is therefore adopted. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
For what purpose does the good senator from the 28th rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry. I thought
Wouldn't
we
it be
went over
great
this
to have
already.
the senator from the 2nd stay up there for a few more bills?
Yeah, we'd have to do that for everybody.
Okay.
Mr. Secretary, please read the caption of House Bill 918.
House Bill 918, a bill by Representatives Chokas of the 138th and others, a bill to be entitled an act to amend Title 31 of the OCGA relating to health so as to provide for the establishment of the Georgia Rare Disease Advisory Council, to provide for legislative findings, to provide for membership, and for other purposes. Mr. President, the Senate Committee on Government Oversight recommends that this bill do pass by substitute. Respectfully submitted, Senator Harbin of the 16th District Chairman. Mr. President, the Senate Committee on Government Oversight offers the following substitute to House Bill 918, a bill to be entitled an act to amend Title 31 of the OCGA relating to health so as to provide for the establishment of the Georgia Rare Disease Advisory Council, to provide for legislative findings, to provide for membership, and for other purposes. That completes the order, Mr. President.
Chair recognizes the senator from the 1st to speak to the measure.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a straightforward bill creating a council because there are over 7,000 known rare diseases affecting approximately 25 to 30 million Americans, and more than half of those are children. 90% of those rare diseases do not have a federal FDA-approved treatment. So this council will be formed and will continue as a working group, and will continue to augment and help with that process of helping mostly children with rare diseases. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer questions. If not, I'll yield the well and ask for favorable consideration.
You have no questions. Any other senator wish to speak for or against House Bill 918? The chair sees none. Questions on the adoption of the committee substitute. Is there objection to adoption of the committee substitute? The chair hears none. The committee substitute is adopted. Is there objection to agreeing to the report of the committee which is favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Is there objection to the main question being ordered? The chair hears none. The main question is ordered. Question on the passage of the bill by substitute. All those in favor vote yea. Opposed nay. The secretary will unlock the machine. On the passage of the bill, the yeas are 53, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed by substitute. Ms. Secretary, can you please read the caption of House Bill 1055?
House Bill 1055, a bill by Representatives Ridley of the 6th and others, a bill to be entitled an act to amend Code Section 40-1-1 of the OCGA relating to definitions relative to motor vehicles and traffic, so as to revise the definition of all-terrain vehicle and for other purposes. Mr. President, the Senate Committee on Transportation recommends that this bill do pass. Respectfully submitted, Senator Ginn of the 47th District Chairman. That completes the order, Mr. President.
Chair recognizes the Majority Whip to speak to House Bill 1055.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's probably the shortest bill you'll hear today and Monday. 1055 simply increases the dry weight on the ATVs that are defined by law from 2,500 to 3,500 pounds, and it's only to account for the electric batteries that are being put in these pieces of equipment. Mr. President, I'll yield and ask for your favorable consideration.
Senator has yielded the well. Does any other senator wish to speak for or against House Bill 1055? The chair sees none. Is there objection to agreeing to the report of the committee which is favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Is there objection to the main question being ordered? The chair hears none. The main question is ordered. Questions on the passage of the bill. All those in favor vote yea. Opposed nay. The secretary will unlock the machine. On the passage of the bill, the yeas are 49, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Chair recognizes the senator from the 2nd for a point of personal privilege.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of this esteemed body, it is my greatest pleasure and honor to serve, especially in this chamber. For the past 14 years, I have not only enjoyed it, I've loved it. When I first was elected, a group of leaders had me at a breakfast, and they asked me what can they expect from me just being elected as senator. And my response was, I guarantee nothing but hard work. And that's what I tried to do my time in this body, to my district and this state, work hard for the people of Georgia to move us forward. I'd first like to thank my family. This office takes a family commitment. It's just really not about us. The whole family has to have a buy-in to make this work. And if this family buy-in does not work, the family doesn't really work. So I'd like to first thank my wife, Lorna, for buying in. I also like to thank my children, Lester the Fourth, who is over there in the corner now, representing my 3 other children, Charity, Leah, and Jonathan, for the buy-in to make this work. To my family, Lester, thank you for allowing me to follow my passion for 24 years in this body. It's been a passion, not a job. To my Payne College family, where my president is over here, who drove up from Augusta, Georgia, with Ms. Carter, the vice president, to see me serve. My first political office was as treasurer of the student body. I wasn't a stellar, I was a great student, but not a great member student at Payne College because I was the leader of a lot of sit-ins. I'm sorry. But we led. To this office, it takes sacrifice and understanding. To the members of this body, thank you for your friendship, but more importantly, thank you for your service to the state. We are all one family. We are all one fraternity trying to do best to move this state forward. To work with you has been one of my greatest joys. As we move legislation, good. As we debate it, it's been good. But as we talk about what's good for Georgia, my senator from the 53rd, we are on opposite ends of the state. But oftentimes we sit around and drink tea or something that looks like tea and just talk about what's good about Georgia. We have differences, but we talk about what we have in common. And thank you for making it work. I've served as chair of the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus, the largest black caucus in these United States. Thank you for letting me be your chair. I served as chairman of Urban Affairs. Thank you for letting me be your chair. I served as vice chair of the Senate Democratic Caucus. Thank you for allowing me to be a leader amongst leaders. To all my seatmates, thank you. Senator from the 15th and Senator from the 5th, thank you for sometimes nudging me when I don't go the right way. To my wingman, hey man, it's been a good ride. The senator from the 10th, we've been friends for such a long time. You've been making it happen. To the people of Savannah, Port Wentworth, Garden City, Thunderbolt, and parts of Chatham County, I thank you for letting me be your voice for the past 24 years. It has been an honor to represent the people of Chatham County. It's been an honor to represent the people of Georgia, but it's just good to come home and people comment on what a good job that you're doing. And sometimes it's good to come home to find out what you're not doing so right, so you must make improvements. I must take time out to thank former Senator Al Scott. I was 13 years old when I worked on my first campaign. He was a member of my church. And he drove me into politics by putting yard signs out and putting brochures in people's doors. He's been a mentor since 13. He served in the House and he served in the Senate, and he encouraged me to run for office. And I didn't think I was the right type of person to run for office. But he said, from those who are given a lot, much is expected. So I've encouraged State Representative Derek Milo to follow. State Representative Eric Thomas, I both brought into this chamber, both brought into this gold dome, and say, you can do it too. They're the shining examples of people I've brought along to look at new leadership, and I'm encouraged by the people that are coming into this gold dome. I would like to especially thank Karen Thompson, Karina Edwards, Denise Sampson, Sidney Williams, Audrey Lee. They were my legislative admins. I'd like to thank them for making me look good, because, you know, the letters we write, we don't really write. The phone calls that are answered, we don't really answer the first phone call. My staff has just been extraordinary. To my family and friends, thank you for believing in me. Sonia, Arnold, Anthony, Timothy, Preston, and there's just so many more of people that got around me to give me support and to push me along. To the members, it's an honor. And I know my days are numbered, and I have just one more day left. There's not a greater joy than being here under this gold dome. And in closing, they called us senators. However, I don't believe in titles. Titles are only an opportunity to do good for others. Let's continue to do good for others. And let's put our titles aside and do the work of the people. I'm Lester Jackson. Thank you.
You don't look old enough to have served 24 years. Ms. Secretary, can you please read the caption of House Bill 899?
House Bill 899, a bill by Representatives Williamson of the 115th and others, a bill to be entitled an act to amend Title 13 of the OCGA relating to contracts so as to provide for the legal effects of the discontinuance of LIBOR contracts, securities, or instruments, to provide for the circumstances under which the recommended benchmark replacement shall be used and whether it is optional or mandatory, and for the purposes. Mr. President, the Senate Committee on Banking and Financial Institutions recommend that this bill do pass. Respectfully submitted, Senator Brass of the 28th District Chairman. That completes the order, Mr. President.
For what purpose does the senator from the 18th rise?
Thank you, Mr. President. I would ask for unanimous consent that we table HB 899.
Senator from the 18th is asked unanimous consent that House Bill 899 be placed on the table. Is there objection? The chair hears none, and it is placed on the table. Mr. Secretary, can you please read the caption of House Bill 1304?
House Bill 1304, a bill by Representatives Hawkins of the 27th and others, a bill to be entitled an act to amend Title 31 of the OCGA relating to health so as to create the Georgia Caregivers Act, to provide for definitions, to require hospitals to provide patients with the opportunity to identify lay caregivers, to provide that named lay caregivers are not obligated to provide aftercare, and for other purposes. Mr. President, the Senate Committee on Health and Human Services recommends that this bill do pass. Respectfully submitted, Senator Watson of the 1st District Chairman. That completes the order, Mr. President.
Chair recognizes the senator from the 11th to present House Bill 1304.
Thank you, Mr. President. House Bill 1304 provides the development of a lay caregiver. This is a family member that is present at the time of discharge after an inpatient stay to aid in the aftercare of the patient to make sure that discharge instructions are followed. I appreciate your support for this great piece of legislation. Mr. President, I yield the well.
Senator has yielded the well. Does any other senator wish to speak for or against House Bill 1304? The chair sees none. Is there objection to agreeing with the report of the committee which is favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Is there objection to the main question being ordered? The chair hears none, and the main question is ordered. Questions on the passage of the bill. All those in favor vote yea. Oppose nay. Secretary will unlock the machine. On the passage of the bill, the yeas are 50, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Chair recognizes the majority leader for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our friends in the House have been able to pass 9 pieces of legislation today, while we have done 31. So I'm going to make a motion that we table the remainder of the bills, and then I understand the secretary probably is going to need a minute. So the motion is, I move that we table the remainder of the bills.
The majority leader has made a motion to place on the table the remainder of the rules calendar. Is there objection? The chair hears none, and the remainder of the rules calendar. There is objection? Okay, we'll get to you in 1 second. Is there objection? The chair hears none, and the remainder of the rules calendar is placed on the table. For what purpose does the senator from the 26th rise?
Can I get a evening personal privilege?
Absolutely. The gentleman can have it if we stay open. We're going to take a 30-minute recess or a 30-minute break. We'll be back in 30 minutes. The secretary's got to reorganize the bills that we've just placed on the table. 30 minutes, we'll see you back.